Alright, this is the first lesson on building invoicing system in Google Sheets. If you're new here, you can check the introduction video to see the final result of the project. The link will be in the description. And let's start from the new document. In this part, we will be working with general settings and customer data. Okay, so first let's rename this tab and call it settings. We need only 2 columns here, so it will work as the key value store. But first, let's format this sheet a bit. Let's remove unnecessary rows and columns. This will improve the speed of our document. If you are working with Google Sheets often, try to remove at least unnecessary columns, so your document will load faster and you will notice less lagging while working with the document. Do this especially if you have lots of rows. Alright, so in the first row, let's simply name our columns. Okay. To keep this row fixed, we can just drag this line below the first row and it will be always visible when we will scroll. Next, let's fill the table. I'll copy-paste values for a company. As you can see, it is simple values with no formulas, and in the A column we have key, and next to it we have value of this key. Now let's add a currency symbol. In my case it will be $, and also currency format. Next, let's format the number itself, because there might be different requirements depending on the country. So let's take the $sign at the front and combine it with simple text. Inside this text, we'll write the hashtag, then comma, then hashtag 0.00. So what it will do, it will replace those hashtags with numbers and also those zeros with the numbers. The only difference that if there will be no number, the hashtags will be empty, but zeros will left zeros. Okay, let's say we have a text function with any number and our currency format. We can see that it adapts this format to our number. And let's say we have like thousands. It will separate thousands with the comma and decimals with the dot. Alright. Next, let's have a date format. Here we are going to use like the full year, the month and the day. Next, let's have a format for our invoice number. Our invoice number will have 3 parts, so it will be prefix, separator and number format with leading zeros. So let's call the prefix E and V. The separator will be simple minus, and for the invoice number I want to use 6-digit number with leading zeros. So let's type 6 zeros, and as you can see, Google Sheets automatically reformats our number to be only 0. What we can do, we can add the single quote sign and repeat the number of our zeros. And 2 more values. So we'll need this later on when we'll set up the invoice sending email from this Google Sheets. So this will be the third-party integration. So basically that's it. Our settings tab is ready, but I would love to style it a bit. Okay, now it looks much better. Now let's add a new tab and rename it Customers. Again, let's remove some columns and rows. Good. I'll paste the column names. Here, the ID should be any unique value. This will be visible only for you. Email column will be used to send invoice emails to the selected customer, and all other columns will be visible in the invoice. Okay, so I'll copy paste some dummy data. As you can see, some of the columns are empty. Later we'll cover this and no empty data will be added to the final invoice. So this allows you to add any data you want here about your customer. And again, let's style this sheet a bit. Okay, we're done with this one. Let's move to another one. Let's call it invoice data. Again, let's remove some columns and rows. This tab will also contain key value, similar to settings tab. First will be customer. Next to the customer, we'll have a drop-down with the list of IDs of our customers. To do that, we need to go to Data, Data Validation, and click Add Rule. Make sure that you have Range Apply selected B1. Next, let's change the criteria to drop down from range. And we need to specify the range. In our case, it will be customers from the A2 to the end of the A column. Click Enter, and as you can see, it already took all the values from our Customers tab. So we said that we want these values starting from the A2 and ending at the end of the A. One more thing to add, I like to use the arrow so it looks more clear, and click Done. Good. Now you can see that we can select any customer by ID. Next we'll add invoice number. So let's start from the first one. Also we want to have invoice date and due date. Here I'll use today's date. Next I'm gonna add VAT rate. It's gonna be 20%. So we have specified the format in the settings tab. Let's use the formula. So what we're going to do, we are going to combine these three values into one single value. We can use simply by selecting these values and separating it with the AND symbol. Or we can use the function called concatenate and just specify the values separated by comma. Then the result will be the same. By the way, if you want to show only numbers, for example, in this case, you just leave these two values blank and only numbers format will be applied here. Alright, and One more thing to add, it's recipient email. So I would like to see an email here where my invoice will be sent. For this, we will use simple VLOOKUP. Specify the search key and specify the range where we want to search. In our case, it will be customers from A to B, so ending with B. Click enter. Yeah, we forgot to add the column we want to see. And one more thing, as you can see, it's wrong now because it takes the wrong email. It is because it is sorted. So we need to say that don't sort the result. Now it's good. It takes the value that stands next to our ID. And if we change our customer ID, it automatically displays this value here. Again, let's format it a bit. Good. Let's add one more tab and call it Invoice Products. Again, I'm gonna remove unused columns and rows. Good. Let's name our headers. Here will be invoice number, product name, quantity, and the price. Let's drag this down. I'll copy paste some values to our products table, and here we are going to append products for our invoices. No need to delete any previous products. Let's keep them to have the history of the invoice products. And also let's format it a bit as usual. Okay, that's it for this lesson. In the next one, we'll create the invoice preview to combine our created tabs into one single invoice. And also please check the description for this video. I'll add notes in case something was changed or I forgot to mention in this video. Also write your questions in the comments section and support us by clicking like. See you in the next lesson. Bye.